Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today is...
Kyle McIntyre.
All right. Do you ever feel bad because I say I'm the host and you feel like you're the sidekick?
I'm like the dude who just never left, I guess. And yeah, I feel like I own. This is like... I like own like maybe 51% of this podcast.
Oh, shit.
So you own like... I think we can both split it 51-50.
Nah, dude, I own 69%, dude. It's fucking no good joke came out of that. Okay,
Jesus.
what's new in your world, Kyle? What's grooving? What's shaking?
I got a new pedal.
Oh my god!
I got a couple new pedals, but I'm really stoked on this one.
What'd you get?
I got an MXR Reverb.
Okay, so that was like kind of your final one.
The one. Yeah, I mean that's what I say. You know.
Like, okay, because you have your delays, you have your dirt, you have some modulations,
A lot of dirt.
And then now it's
I have the Phase 90. I have some, so I do have some cool pedals. They're actually really cool. I like them a lot. I just see like, oh, I don't have that one. There's another $30 pedal I could get.
Yeah.
But the Reverb pedal is so cool. It's really cool, actually. It's got 6 different reverb settings in it.
Yeah,
it's got plate, spring. Yeah, we've talked about it before.
A little more apprehensive on that one because it's a little more
it was a little more expensive.
Bucks, right?
Yeah, but I found one. So I've been looking on Reverb and looking on eBay even, and the prices usually stopped at like $150. They would not come down from that.
Yeah,
they were either like $200 or $150.
Fuck.
And I had gone in when I had bought that TC, that Ditto X2. I had seen 2 actually in the cabinet.
Yeah. When you exchanged the crap one for the good one. Yeah.
So I had seen it, and I had asked. I asked the guy there, I'm like, hey, what's up with this pedal? He's like, oh, well, it's 30-day period. You can't, I can't sell it. You can't look at it. You can't, don't even look at it. Don't ask me about it. I'm like, okay. And it was on like the, whatever. I kind of knew what day it was in my head, but I had forgot. It was like 2 weeks in the future.
Yeah.
And so it was like a Sunday. I'm like, I tricked my wife. I'm like, hey, let's go for a drive. Oh yeah, let's go do what you want to do, and then
let's go drive out to beautiful La Mesa.
Yeah, the weather is just perfect out there. It's balmy. And so walked in, and it had the day before was the last day, and I'm like, oh, so it was $125 for the pedal.
Yeah,
I'm like, you know what, pull the trigger. I'm just gonna get it, and I tried the line. I said, is there any movement in the price? I was like, oh wow. It's a different guy. So it's a different voice. Oh, well, no. It's not past its 90 days. We don't have any room to move on the price. I'm like, okay.
Well, we're stuck between a rock and a hard place right here, dude.
But it came with the power supply.
Oh, well, shit. The one thing that you're never going to fucking use. Yeah. Go for it.
And it sounded really good. I actually tried it out before I bought it. So he was a little pissed. I was like, oh, can I try this out before I buy it? He's like, yeah. And there's like the actual like setup right next to where the used pedals are in the lock cabinet. And there's a guy sitting there. So he's like, oh, he like dragged a bunch of cables into like the like expensive section, like where all the guitars are like locked, like the combination lock or something.
Yeah.
And I just sat there and by myself and just wailed on that thing in there. It was cool.
Yeah. Cool. So it kind of sold it on you. Like, it's here. I'm here.
Yeah.
Might as well just get it.
Yeah.
Cool. And you threw that actually on a board, and you're actually now have the full MXR.
Yeah. There's 10 MXR pedals. There's the Blue Box, Phase 90, Analog Chorus, GTOD, Badass, Distortion, the Shinjuku, the Distortion 3, the Il Torino, Carbon Copy, and the Reverb. So all from
That's
MXR.
a mouthful.
Yeah, I'm looking to get sponsored. Yeah,
I mean that's like 10 pedals, and they're all pretty.
Yeah, I tried running them all today, and there's like definitely it sucks the tone.
Oh really?
Yeah.
What?
So I have to it may be one pedal that does it. I think it's probably the Blue Box.
Yeah,
because the Blue Box is like super compressed. Super gated.
What, do you try turning them all at the same time?
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, I just was like, let's try this. It's I'm like, yeah, that sounds great.
Yeah, you know what? That's not a good idea.
Yeah, I got some more Sonic Stompers. So I'm trying out. They're just the skate deck ones, but these are bronze. So that's.
And you toss you a freebie.
Toss me a prototype one.
Yeah, that's pretty tight.
So and it looks slick. Actually, I had always seen him posted. I'm like, oh man, I want those, but they're never on. He doesn't post them.
You're like his number one customer.
Pretty much, probably.
Yeah. I mean,
I was his first customer. I said it. I was his first U.S. customer. I was his first customer to buy on his store.
Yeah, that's tight.
So, some got some more of those.
Nice.
Yeah, and he's made some of my special blended stain ones. Those are kind of cool. I got some treadle pedals.
Yeah, I know. This was just today, right?
I got it. Well, I got it last night actually.
Oh, jeez.
So I saw a ad on Facebook Marketplace. The guy wanted like $30 for 3 treadles.
Yeah.
So 2 Crybabies and a Morley.
Yeah.
So it's like a older. It's like a boost pedal, which is kind of weird. It's huge.
Yeah, it's fucking huge, and it's like hardwired.
It's hard. Yeah, it's like a 120 volt.
Yeah, and then like made in...
Kill yourself, you step on a piece of steel.
Made in
LA. Yeah. So that's cool. It's not working. I'm going to see what is wrong with it.
If you could just use the housing, I guess, right?
It'd be kind of cool. So when I bought it, the guy's like, oh, these are all for parts. I'm like, oh, no problem. Whatever. That's what I want. One of the pedals is actually working.
Yeah.
It is a Crybaby. It's just like messed up to hell. I mean, the guy's like engraved like a nautical star and like spider webs and
like skulls and dumb shit.
He wrote like, it says original Crybaby, but he put original bitch. Like original Crybaby bitch or whatever.
Got this shit, bitch.
Yeah. So
you like that?
I noticed that it had when I got home, I like pulled out. I'm like, oh shit, this is modded. I'm like, I saw the LED on the side. I'm like, oh, that's always like a first like, oh snap,
Yeah, and then the knobs and shit.
And there's knobs. There's an MXR knob on one side, and then there's
like a Fender.
Yeah, like a Fender tone knob on the other. And I'm like, oh shit. So I pulled it open, pulled the garbage battery out that had not only exploded inside, but it had rusted.
Yeah.
And then I put a better battery in there, and it fired right up. And it's a chorus pedal that someone actually pulled the guts out. It's I can't remember the circuit now. It starts with a K. Johnny thought it was legit. So
yeah. So
Johnny thinks it's legit.
Send it to Johnny. Johnny thinks it's cool. So it's funny because it's like right after the episode that we just recorded, it's like, oh, you found like, I think we talked about like, oh, a chorus on a treadle would be kind of cool. And that's what that is. It's a chorus in a wah enclosure. That'd be cool. I think
it's kind of strange. I'm going to clean it up and see if maybe make it more usable.
Yeah.
Because there's like a spring. He put a spring under the toe of the treadle. So like
hot glued it in there.
Yeah. And so it like pushes back really hard. So like you can't find a sweet spot. I guess I don't know what the guy was using it for, but it says like modded in 2003 by like, was it EJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know who that is. But he's famous apparently.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. I mean, I went to dentist. I guess that's another thing.
What do you have?
I had a loose filling.
Oh God,
that sucked, and that was for like a month.
Well, you got it fixed, right?
Yeah. So it's actually way better than it was before. It was like sandpaper. Like originally, the first dentist who put it in.
He just put sandpaper in there. Like what, like 100 grit,
like just
or something?
1,000 grit. No, so it was like, like when something bothers you in your mouth, you mess with it.
Yeah,
I did that for like 8 years, like mess with it.
God,
and then I'm still doing it now because I'm like, oh, it's not there anymore.
Yeah.
But I want it back. The good old days.
The good old days. The good old days.
So yeah, got that fixed, and now I can chew on the right side of my mouth.
Yeah,
and not cry.
At least you're on the right side this time.
Yeah, the right side of my mouth.
Yeah.
I guess that's it. I mean, that's just a couple of new things. What about you, Brian? What's new with you?
Well, I guess it's something that you and I, kind of to tack on to your MXR thing. We the other day we decided to actually figure out what the best MXR pedal that you have is.
Yeah. Since I have so many of them.
Yeah, you have a shitload of them. I think like 13 or something like that.
Yeah.
We decided to figure out what the best MXR pedal is, and the only way to do that is by fucking weight.
Yeah.
So
grab that digital scale,
and we're going. So this, I'll just read you this is important. I'll read you the weight. Zach Wild, Overdrive, that Tube Screamer one that looks stupid with a bullseye,
Yeah.
is 14.1 ounce.
Really?
The carbon copy, beat it, 15 ounce.
What?
The blue box fell short at 13.3 ounces. Distortion Plus, the yellow one, is 14.5 ounces. The Phase 90, my boy, 14 ounces even.
Dang.
Shinjuku, it's one of your more expensive ones. Piece of fucking shit, 8.1 ounces.
No. That wasn't that expensive, actually.
The new one, the Reverb, MXR Reverb, 9.3 ounces.
Most expensive one.
Yeah. Piece of garbage.
Dang.
GTOT. Actually, it's pretty. You got that for cheap, right?
Yeah, at $40.
Yeah. 14.1 ounces. Then we have the Il Torino. Piece of garbage. 8.1 ounces.
Like the lightest one.
Yeah.
Actually, the lightest one, I think, is...
The Analog Chorus. 8.9 ounces. So a little heavier than Il Torino. But the lightest one, the 78 Distortion.
Yeah.
7.8 ounces. But the one, drum roll please, Distortion 3, 1 pound, 0.1 ounce.
That's pretty crazy.
That is like easily the best pedal that you own.
Yeah.
The best pedal that you own.
It helps me gent, man. It helps me like chug.
The thing is fucking heavy. And it's fucking heavy.
Good thing it wasn't a heavy chorus, because that just sounds weird.
We legit we're like, let's get a scale.
Yeah.
Figure out which
We're
one's
like totally committed to it.
to the
I
bit.
think I have one. I think there's two, but
So that's how you can tell a pedal's good, because it's like,
it's girthy.
yeah, if it's heavy, then you're like, oh, these are good. But if they're light, they're
Fuck 'em.
cutting corners.
Yeah. Yeah.
with materials.
You open in like a bunch of like loose components just pour out of there.
It's just like a bunch of cotton
Change.
balls and shit in there.
Loose change.
You put like a balloon in there or something.
That makes it lighter.
Yeah, it's because it's full of helium. There was something in there. I couldn't do it. Anyways, what to do with me? I'm
Well, that was in between. I thought that was your new thing.
No, that was a new thing for both of us, actually.
Okay.
Something very important. Breaking news. Coming in from the Tone Jerks lab. Coming in with a pen and a pad. For me, I have a show coming up with Brian in the band. I play bass for him, just in case. So Brian, our drummer for Playing Without a Pilot, I play bass in his band, in case you guys
Did I have a
know.
confusing look on my face? You had to explain that to me?
Who the fuck is Brian? Had a practice with him, and we have a show coming up September 7th at the Moreau in San Diego. Anyway, so we had the practice, learning a couple new songs, adding on to the repertoire of what we got. It's coming out, good. It's fun. It's, like playing bass. Bass is fun. But one thing that I have to say, and I don't think we've ever mentioned it. I think we probably have, but clip-on tuners are bullshit.
We have said
not work.
We have said it before, and then we own them and we've used them.
But like in like a band like situation or whatever.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, we're playing. I'm like, oh shit, real quick. I'm like, because I had a band practice and I had to basically go straight from work there. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna grab my bass. I'll throw a clip-on tuner in there and be fine. Because it's punk rock. I don't really need any effects or anything or whatever. So throw a clip-on tuner in there. We should be good. Wrong.
Didn't work.
Clip-on tuner does not work in a band situation because like with the guitar amp going and vibrating the headstock and like the kick drum going and stuff like that, it could not pick up the frequencies of my bass.
Weird.
Like it could not hone in on any note.
Which bass was it?
My jazz bass.
Okay.
And it was just like, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I could barely get it. So I basically had to just, borrow Adam, the guitar player's
plug in.
Yeah, plug in. I'm like, okay, next time I'm not
Should have had a rack tuner.
Yeah, it would have been great if you had one there at the studio. But yeah, no, I mean, other than that was just something I had to mention. I'm like, man. So a little pro tip: if you're a bass player, like clip-on tuners you should not actually have a clip-on tuner on stage ever,
unless you're like badass.
I don't know when they're cool.
They're
ever.
Not.
But no, so they did not work anyway. So they let me down. And then I'm thinking about it for the show. I don't know whether I should play a P bass or a jazz bass. Like I really want to play my jazz bass because I'm like, That's my like more expensive, like American made,
How about you play my P bass? You never played my P bass live before.
I was gonna play my P bass.
Yeah, my P bass is way better.
It
is.
All right, but
it's American, Brian.
because I was like practicing to the tracks at home with the P bass. I'm like, oh, that actually is kind of that's what they recorded all their tracks on is a P bass.
Yeah.
At least for their newest record. I'm like, oh, that kind of works out. I'm like, that kind of sounds exactly what I need to do. But I'm like, I like playing a jazz bass because I'm like, oh, that's like more comfortable for me. I like playing the jazz bass. I'm like,
because that's a smaller neck.
Yeah,
you
and
got
like
small hands.
Yeah, and then little fingers, stuff like that. So I don't know. I'm kind of debating. I'm like, I don't know, P bass or jazz bass. Like I don't want to, either way. That's kind of tossing it up. I guess we're gonna figure it out.
Either way, you're wrong. Wrong.
Just use your bass. That you're gonna be like in the crowd. That bass sucks. Even if it's your own.
Pick that?
Even if it's your own bass, like fucking get your own identity, bitch.
Don't give in to peer pressure, bro.
Get into peer pressure.
Pure.
And then another new thing for me is I did. Well, I'm gonna mention it anyways. I already segued into it. So I had talked about it on like episode 7. I have a snare drum, like a custom made, like 15, 20 ply or whatever snare drum that I bought years and years ago. We used it for the band, a bunch of recordings and stuff like that. But I just want to move it along. But a couple of the lugs broke on it. And I was searching all the deepest, darkest corners of the internet to try and find replacement lugs for it. They did not make any of these shark tooth, like,
that
chrome.
was the one. That was the one guy who like just manned like a computer from like 1998.
Anyway, so then they sent it, but it was not the right size.
No, it was the wrong one. Yeah,
no, it was the wrong. It was like kind of a shark tooth thing from. It was meant for the toms and not for the snare. Yada yada. I was still stuck with this, snare that I'm like, I'm going to sell it and I'm going to like, I will easily lose $100 because somebody's gonna be like, you're missing 2 lugs on that thing.
You're like, you know what? You find them.
I'm just going to be like, I'm just going to lowball your ass even more because, you're missing 2 lugs. And honestly, like if you're going to have to buy all new lugs, you're kind of looking at least another $100. So like as much as I was making that like cartoon voice, I'm like, it's completely viable. It's a legitimate excuse. So anyways, I was like, just like on eBay, like I do, like I'll just search random things. I'm like, you know what? I wonder if I can find these lugs, specifically these lugs. I typed in OCDP shark tooth, and then I found the lugs I needed. Some guy was selling 3. He had 3 in stock, and I needed 2. So I'm like, I bought the 2. I'm like, I was trying to email him back. I'm like, what? Can you give me a measurement? Just I want to make sure that they're the right size. And he's like, never responded. And then like the ad, went dead. I'm like, fuck, he sold them, whatever. And then they popped up again. I'm like, fuck, I'm just gonna buy them. He never responded. Like gave him 2 weeks to respond. And so I just bought them. They are the right size. It's perfect. I'm gonna put these back on my snare drum, list it. And I'm hoping I can get like at least $250, $300.
Dang.
Just to get rid of that snare. I never used it. I haven't used it in fucking like 2 or 3 years because it's had 2 broken lugs. And it's like, luckily our drummer is not a fucking scumbag. He has his own drum set, stuff, so it's like he's not going to want to use my snare drum. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. What about getting into some topics?
Yeah, we could try that.
How about let's do one that I think it's kind of a loose topic. But we're gonna kind of, we'll batter around like a little, like a cat. I was thinking, Relic Guitars. I don't think we ever touched on that. Like buying pre-Relic guitars. Everybody always says, and here it comes, it's like buying pre-torn worn jeans. Ugh, okay, great analogy. That's not original. To me, I'm like, okay, so buying Relic guitars. What is your stance on that? Is it like cool? Is it worth the extra money? Because sometimes you're looking at like Fender Custom Shop. You're looking at like Gibson Custom Shop, or sending your guitar to like or buying it from Nash Guitars or whatever. So what's your stance on the pre-Relic guitars, Kyle? Not guitars that have use, but guitars that are Relic.
Yeah, I think sometimes they can be pretty cool actually.
Mm-hmm.
Like when like Fender Custom does like a solid color over like a pattern, then they like sand through, or they do like a wear job.
Oh, like
the paisley undertone, or like an actual pattern under it.
I think that looks a black cool. Under gold or something like that.
Yeah,
or like okay, you don't like gold, but like
no,
pink over blue or something like that.
Yeah,
or
like a
like
paisley like
over blue,
paisley like a sea foam pink and blue underneath like a solid, like it could be like a white or something. It's like it just looks really cool. I think.
What about just like the Relic ones,
where they're just like sanded, or
it's like it look like they've been played and like crackled and stuff like that, and they have like the finger like marks on the like the cowboy cord area.
Yeah, I think it can be
like
it can be tasteful, but I think it's easy to venture out of it and make it look like garbage.
Yeah. Well, why do you think people would want to have Relic guitars?
I don't know, because the same reason why people want like, oh, I bought this brand new Taylor guitar. I want to sound like it's 20 years old. I want my electric guitar to look not 20 years old, but looks like
it's been
50
played,
years old. Yeah.
You kind of want like, oh, I want the nitro to be gone already from the get-go. Like I don't, not to sound bad, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to put in the work.
Yeah, because people are lazy as hell.
Yeah, I mean, because I have a Gibson like with nitro lacquer and stuff like that. My black classic or whatever. It's still like I don't play it as much as my other guitars.
Yeah, but there's a little bit of wear.
Bit of wear. So I'm like, to me, I'm like, oh man, if I played it all the fucking time, there would be checking. There would probably be like more shit going on with it. Maybe not checking. I don't know, but it'd probably be more worn down instead of just like a couple nicks here and there. Whereas I'm like, oh, that's kind of, I don't know. I think it'd be kind of cool. Like I see them, and I see like
less is more on some of that stuff. When someone's like sanded through like a pit guard, and they've gone through like it's like a 3-ply, and it's like white, black, white, and like you can see the black through. It's like, no way.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It looks bad.
Oh, there's some brands who do that.
No, these are like, you see like, let's say you're maybe not a brand, but you're looking on Craigslist and someone's like, oh, this is a Relic job I did. You're like, I can tell.
I'm like, no, you just took that. You took that to like
it's like a belt sander,
or
like even an orbital sander, which it has circles. Like you can obviously tell that it wasn't like a straight. It's like no one plays like in circles on
nobody does a figure 8 with their pick.
It's bad. It's like, what were you trying to do?
Yeah,
but I think to back your point, like, or to answer your actual question, I think it can be tasteful if it's done right.
Yeah,
and yes, I like them.
I think that people sometimes do them to get the lacquer off like necks. I think like the feel of the guitar too, because they're like, oh, it feels like it's been played in too, and like when they're done right, I think like Fender Custom Shop's really good, and like I think Nash does a really good job, but Bill Nash, he can kind of do too much. Where you're like, dude, nobody plays their guitar that much. Anyways, the Relic job, I'm like, that's cool. I'm like, to me, what I would really like is something like a Closet Classic. Like Fender does like their Custom Shop Closet Classics, to where it's like, oh, they do them like to the 60s, 50s spec, but it looks like the guitar has been well taken care of and or put in a case for 50 years.
Oh.
To where it's not like, hey, I've been
it's
like,
relic,
I've been like,
worn.
Like putting my cigarettes out on this thing and like throwing it like, just like doing like, Olympic sports, throwing it across the fucking field. Like they're like, no, like I'm actually like doing, I just put it under my bed, and then now you have it now. And so it looks old. It has like maybe a couple checks and like little cracks in the like lacquer here and there. And then you get it. I think that would be way cooler than doing a heavy Relic, or a Relic. Cause I'm like,
yeah,
but then again, like, cause I'd want to put in all the marks myself.
That's another thing.
I would want to put in my own marks. And for my, especially my pink Les Paul Jr., that's not a lacquer finish. That's just like what? A Krylon spray paint?
Yeah, it's just garbage Krylon.
And then it was like a gray, base coat or whatever?
Yeah.
That you're like, yeah, nobody's going to see the gray anyways.
No one's going to see it unless you're going to fuck up the top coat.
I was like, oh yeah, should we get white? And you're like, no, dude, nobody's going to see this anyways. And so now it's gray base coat with the pink over it, and everybody see. I'm like, it's fine. It is what it is. And
I'll do it again if you want.
Nah, it's fine. There's a bunch of like, pick scrapes and blood all over it, and
Yeah, I want to keep that.
it's my memories, man. Like I think I was just like drunk, and I like pulled my nail under the first string, and I was like, oh, I just sliced my finger open. I'm gonna keep playing, and there's blood splattering all over my guitar. I remember like there was like people in the front row. They're like, oh my god, that's gross. And then there was his friend next to him was like, yeah, you're the hardcore kid. He's like, that's tight. Because I was like blood just all over, and I just flicked it all over my guitar. I'm like, ooh, yep. So
so you mentioned some companies that are like good.
yeah, so I mean, I think, well, do you want to, I think Rock and Roll Relics is cool.
Yeah.
We saw them at NAMM.
I really like the way those guitars look. They're quality built guitars.
Yeah, and they feel really great, and they feel like worn in old guitars.
Yeah, but like the dumbest thing
is the fucking name.
Yeah, it's like dad rock. It's like, oh, dad's everywhere. Come on, come on.
It's like
Rock and
explaining
Roll Relics.
It's like explain. Yeah, it's like explaining exactly what you do. It's like. Yeah, you might want to do that for like, your hot dog restaurant that you do, because like you don't want to fool people and thinking that you're like, a bar, or like, you're a bar or something.
Yeah.
But I'm like, when you're a guitar company, I'm like, Rock and Roll Relics. We play the rock and roll sounds with your guitars, and we relic them. Don't forget the relics. It's like, yo, dude, you have to fucking like take away the whole fucking mystery just in your dumbass name, and then you look at the logo. I'm like, man, that's. Yeah, there's no hiding that.
Yeah, it's really dumb, but they actually make really nice guitars.
Yeah, I like.
There's another one, Thunder.
I like Nash. I think those are really cool.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I've been like a little bit more of a fan because of like bands like the Loved Ones, like MXPX. He both of them just recently got Nash guitars, like Telly. It's like old school,
nice.
Like. Relic, and then like Gaslight Anthem, I think was one of the first bands I saw playing them, and then like Against Me, like tons of bands are like playing these guitars, and like they're all like, Fender type builds, and I think he licenses parts or whatever, and then just like relics them and does a pretty good job, and then but he's also can go really like full on. It's like heavy relics and super heavy relics. I'm like, Jesus Christ, dude, that never actually happens to a guitar.
Just don't even paint the thing, man.
Yeah, it's like it's all wood now. It's like, oh, it's like there's a little splatter of red there. I'm like, that's smaller than my pinky. I'm like, oh yeah, but it was a red guitar though.
We're saving on paint, actually.
Here's a question for you. If you could have any of your guitars done or redone in a nitro relic finish, like say your favorite bass. Because I know you only have a couple guitars.
Yeah.
But your favorite bass, your Butterscotch one, your Butterscotch Baby. If you could have that redone, like same Butterscotch, same vintage thing, and done in a relic, like a good job either by Fender Custom Shop or Nash, would you do it? It looks the same, like it has like the same like nut and everything, like the,
the plane. It feels the same.
Picture, not picture. The pickups, the bridge, everything's like the same playability, whatever, but it's just like a relic finish. Would you do it?
Man, I would hell no.
No,
I would not do that.
You wouldn't be a little bit into it. You'd be like, oh, this is kind of a cool look.
I would. Because I think
the way you're playing your bass now, because it's like a poly finish, it's not gonna ever look like a relic bass.
Yeah, it's gonna stay glossy forever.
It's gonna stay glossy and just basically just like it has been. The finish is just gonna chip away.
What's great about that bass is once you start like sweating, you play like way better
because it's all like
slick as fuck. Like yeah, it's gross as hell.
That's why these songs added another like 20 BPM, dude.
Yeah,
because I'm leading.
No friction.
I'm leading the drums.
So no, I would not. That's not a thing I would want to do to a bass that I love. I think that
if you bought one,
definitely. If I bought one, I was like, what would be great? Someone relic this and made it look like it was old.
Like if it was like a Nash or a custom shop, you would be like, what?
I would be fine with that, but I don't think I would want to change my baby.
Yeah, that was one thing I was like, you know what? He's not invested in this topic as much as it should be.
What about you?
Need to bring him in.
Maybe you would maybe have your Gibson, your black Gibson.
I guess, yeah. No, I would totally do it.
If you couldn't sell it, right? Because you haven't. Still have it.
I still have it. Haven't. I mean, it's a really good guitar. If I don't sell it, I'm not gonna like be crying because it's fun. It's good. But yeah, no, I would totally like send it.
Add some mojo.
Send it off to Nash to have him, because he used to do that before his company started really taking off. He used to do like.
So they don't do that anymore.
Yeah, he used to do relics for Gibsons, so like modern ones. Like, oh yeah, I'll finish it. Like, I'll do a whole new thing. I'll do either like a gold top or like a burst and make it like relic and shit like that.
Dang,
it wasn't cheap.
No, I'm sure.
But I'm like, oh yeah, I would kind of do that.
Could you send it to the Fender shop and have them do it?
Yeah, they get.
Just don't take the napkin off the headstock.
Yeah, I guess like, for me, that's like the person that wants it to look cool, like it's been played a lot, but it hasn't been. I'm like,
that's where I think where
I haven't put. I like admittedly haven't put the time into that guitar as I should have, because it's like, oh, the 2006 Gibson Les Paul Classic. It's like, it's a Gibson. It's not an Epiphone or anything like that. It's a really great guitar, but I'm like, I just never caught on with it. So to me, I'm like, oh, it'd be nice if I would have, because I'm like, if I had been playing it for the past 12 years, like all the time, like that's my main axe, it would be like Relic to have like, the lacquer probably done, like taken away, kind of similar to how my pink one is.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I just never really gave it as much time as I should have.
So would you ever get like a, was it 335 and Relic that? Because I think those would look cool, Relic.
Yeah, those would be cool.
Those, I think, because they're such a huge, it's such like a big like plane of.
But then again, I would think, I'm like, I don't know. I would want to, if it was like, a lacquer finish, whatever, I would be like, you know what?
Play it and have it wear naturally.
I don't know. I guess you're right. You caught me on my own question. I would probably just want to put the work in myself.
Yeah.
Like, play the guitar because that's meant to be played and kind of get it there. I like the look of Relic. I wouldn't not buy a PreRelic guitar.
Yeah.
Like,
I think you look more badass playing it, but like, deep down that it's a lie.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's like
people don't know though.
And it's like, I guess it's like maybe it's false Relic that I do on my pink Les Paul, because it's not.
Yeah, but you've sanded it down for utility reasons.
Well, no, even like parts I didn't sand down. Like there's like it's chipped away, and it's like it actually comes off, and I didn't sand off parts. It's like the part where my arm rests, like it flaked away because it was just Krylon that was never sealed.
Yeah.
People were like, oh yeah, how'd you get that finished? I'm like, get cheap ass spray paint
and give it to Kyle
and never seal it.
Yeah, we didn't put any clear coat.
I wonder what that's like on my skin. That's probably not a good idea.
It's fine. It's not lead based anymore, Brian.
Okay.
But it's probably some neurotoxin stuff.
Yeah. The fact that my skin and sweat has soaked that up.
Please, mercury.
Because I'm like, yeah, on the Gibsons, I didn't have to sand anything away because it was just the Krylon. You could, honestly, I think you could wipe it away with like alcohol.
Yeah.
Not like, but like, that's how like.
Really?
Yeah, it comes off.
If it's lacquer, no.
I don't know that. No, I'm saying with your Krylon.
Oh, it would it would still require like mineral spirits or paint thinner.
All right, well,
or acetone.
Now you know, kids.
Yeah, don't drink acetone.
All right, I think we're done with that topic. We're wrapping that shit up. But we are back again. Kyle is back. Don't call to come back. With the Kyle Files.
Yeah, I'm back, bitches.
The Kyle Files.
It ain't right.
It ain't right. The Jerko Files, if you will. So you got a couple more bangers for us, Kyle. Now these are things that it's like almost like shower thoughts, things that you pissing you off.
Yeah.
Now things you just had to bring up. You got 3 bangers for us?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So we're talking about strings over 6. Right, on a guitar.
I mean, because we already know your stance on 5-string basses.
God, we don't want to revisit that one. That was messy. It's bloody.
Getting me heated.
Heated.
We're shifting over to guitars.
Yeah, so
we know 6 strings. That's all.
That's all we know. I got my 6-string on my shoulder,
and then. But now when we add more strings to that,
okay,
what the fuck? Bring it to me.
You guys with 12 strings, you're safe. Okay, You made it. You're safe. You're good. I think 12 strings are actually kind of cool.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, there's that like natural chorus kind of, which I do enjoy. You're not going to be jamming out on one. Let's be honest. You're not like
you're just doing your chords and stuff.
You're just
maybe
doing
like some light lead lines.
They sound cool, but like, damn, your fucking fingers hurt.
Yeah.
You have to have like pythons for forearms.
For fingers.
Yeah, cranked out for fingers. Just banana hammocks for fingers.
Yeah. Banana hammocks. You thought I was gonna pass over that little flub. You got one thing on your mind there, Kyle.
Yeah.
All right. So banana hammocks aside, what do you got for me?
I'm talking about 7 and 8 strings. Okay. Like, what the hell?
I mean, maybe we'll pass. We'll come back to that. But I'm like 12 strings. I think those can only use them really for strumming, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can do arpeggio shit with it. That sounds cool.
But you know how fucking
you've listened to
shitty it must be to tune a 12 string?
Oh God.
Would you ever own one or want to own one?
No, I don't think so. It's like you tuning yourself and then like you tuning your rhythm guitars.
It'd be like, oh man, they're really cool for other people
to watch.
It's like, it's like somebody else's kid. You're like to me, I'm like, I'm a great uncle. I'm like, my little nephew. I'm like, oh, fucking sick. Oh, you're going home with my sister. All right, we're good.
See you in
that
a month.
You couldn't see it. See you in a couple of months there, buddy.
Their sport.
Yeah. Whereas I'm like, oh, I could not imagine changing those diapers or trying to get him to be a functional part of society. Yeah. That's like I would fail. Whereas like a 12 string, I'm like getting this to like in tune, I would fail.
Yeah, like they make Evertunes for those
for 12 strings. I like it. I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do with all these strings? It's gonna kill myself with all these strings. It's gonna trip it all over it. I'm gonna walk away and I stumble. On all these strings, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's my take on the 12. So you say they're cool. I say they're like cool for other people. But 7, 8 strings.
7, 8
now,
strings.
This is where we get a little. We're not adding like octaves or anything. We're adding more bassy strings.
Yeah, like I think this comes from a place like I don't get why you would want those, and so I fear them, and thus I hate them. I hate what I fear.
They're kind of encroaching on your space a little bit. Because when they do they're doing the low B, and what the hell is that?
Yeah.
The next one, is that going to be an F sharp?
Jesus.
And they're doing when they're doing the 8 strings. There's some bands, Animals as leaders, 2 guitars with 8 strings, no bass player.
Oh,
how do you feel about that shit?
Yeah, they're taking our jobs.
They took our jobs.
Damn it! Yeah,
me and Johnny Ray are gonna fucking fight against these 8 strings.
Yeah, I think that's just so dumb. It's like you're probably really good at like playing guitar, but adding more strings doesn't make you better than everyone else, and that's probably how they view themselves.
Do you think they're like the bass players who buy 5 strings?
Yeah,
they're like,
well, shit. I wish this had another string on it too.
Well, they make 9 strings.
Yeah, I know.
Or you can get the Jared Dines one, or what the hell that
18 strings.
18 strings. Oh, God.
No, so this is really just like, I mean, get over yourself.
Realistically, like 7 and 8 strings. So you're kind of like, okay, get over yourself, right?
Yeah, basically. I see like just a trend going on, and I'm like, oh God.
Like, just keep going.
Like, I barely can handle 6, you know?
How low can you go?
So I always break that E string, you know?
But it's, I don't know. It to me, I'm like, I feel like they're encroaching on like frequencies that you don't need to.
Yeah.
And I sound like an old fuddy-duddy. They're like, that's
for
postmodern music. And I'm like, dude, there's some prog music where they just play in standard tuning. And they sound great, and they're killing it because they're like, guess what? The bass player's doing this frequency, the keyboard is doing this, and they're doing instrumental music and doing like the crazy fucking like time signatures and stuff like that. I'm like, no, just they're staying with a 6 string. I'm like, you can be like a crazy like prog instrumental band and do all this crazy like metal shit with 6 strings, dude. You don't have to tune lower to be heavy. Like your riffs are heavy, your style is heavy, the locking in with the bass and the kick drum is heavy.
Hopefully that trend just goes away.
I mean, I don't know. I think people are always on to the next thing, and then maybe we're not catching that trend.
Probably not.
Because, which is fine. I'm like, I'm, barely catching on to the, digital trend.
Yeah.
And it's cool. And it's good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. So maybe I'm like, I don't think we'll ever be a 7, like, let me put that out there. I don't think Playing Without a Pilot is ever going to be a 7 and 8 string pop punk band.
Yeah.
I hope to fucking God we're not.
Yeah. Don't count on it.
Yeah. Ding, ding. Okay. So that you're kind of,
I just hate it. It just looks it looks, okay, here, look, it looks stupid and it sounds stupid most importantly.
It's basically, you're like the fretboard looks like a skateboard.
Yeah, it's like, where's your tech deck, dude?
Yeah, like no, like a full-on skateboard. I'm like, where's the half pipe, bros, my dudes? You ready for a kick flip? Now, okay. So we harped on it and we talked about it. Adding more to a guitar, more strings and stuff like that.
Yeah,
is, it's good or bad. You take them both, and there you have. But now with bass, what if you take some things away from it,
like key things, like some really important things,
like key things, like frets. What's your stance on the fretless bass? You had mentioned this to me. You were a little steamy before. Yeah,
I come across I'm looking for bass parts. I'm like, oh, there's a vintage like a 70s oh man, that guy's charging $100 for that 70s neck for a P bass. What could be wrong with it? Someone fucking did their own fret job on it. They removed them. It's like, fuck, man.
Put wood filler or some dumb shit in there.
You can see them. It's not even a good job. Anyways, I think fretless just are so lame sounding. They sound so bad.
You feel like you're kind of trying to...
Yeah, you sound like get a stand-up bass then, man. Do it. Commit. Don't be a bitch.
Commit to the fucking bit.
Yeah, I hate...
Because we all know it's a fucking joke.
Fretless is... I think probably because I play with a pick.
Uh-huh.
It
couldn't work.
You can't... But I look at... I like the actual tone that's coming from. It's like... Oh, man. Let's say you played with flat wounds. Okay, so you have fretless, flat wounds, and you roll the tone knob. You're not a real person. Okay, you don't exist. You might as well just die.
You're not even in the band.
Yeah, erase from existence. You're not cutting through.
Yeah,
and I think for me, I'm fighting to hold that little piece of the band that I'm holding.
I mean, sometimes the bass isn't always I know this take.
I know.
Not always.
No one gives a shit about the bassist.
They're not always the showstopper.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're the they got to back up the starring role, which is like the jazz singer or whatever, soul singer, and then the bass is just like you slide into all the notes.
Yeah,
it's hard for me to speak to fretless basses because I don't really know the style that uses them.
God.
But I feel like people buy them to and they shoehorn them into certain styles because they think like,
oh, this is like a funk kind of...
Yeah, this is what we're going to do now, because,
What, you Ringo Starr with that voice? We're the Beatles.
Yeah, it's going to fucking...
I'm Ringo.
Fucking throw a fretless bass in there.
Fretless bass? No, I just...
frets of shit in it.
All right. I think we retire that one. Jesus, you're just driving it into the ground. No, I still like it. Keep going. No, I mean... Maybe I'm just pigeonholing it into my
I feel like
style.
Honestly, like you had mentioned this, I'm like, I don't think we know enough about fretless bass and the style of music to talk about it, but we're gonna do it anyways.
We're gonna and if you guys have an opinion on fretless bass, I want to hear it. I want to hear how wrong you are.
I want to hear it. You tell me.
No, I just
Kyle,
it's from...
I think fretless basses suck. Prove me wrong.
Yeah, and you sit like a college campus with that on a banner.
On a banner. All right. So now you have. Let's move it along. What else you got? You got your a certain style of basses.
Yeah, I think this will be a short one, but yeah, it's violin basses. What the hell? You're not Paul McCartney, man, and he barely pulled that off.
He even looked like a jackass.
He did. He looked like a wanker. We're doing our horrible British accents.
Yeah, you mentioned it to me. I'm like, I got nothing.
No,
for this.
they look so stupid. I think I remember they were just when we first started doing Instagram, they were just like I would see them every day. I'm like, fuck, where are these coming from? Oh, these are coming from my Hofner.
Hofner is like, yo, dude, we have like a fucking stock of these.
Have
like,
one,
we have a
one style bass.
We have a surplus of these basses. Please buy them.
This one looks like a Stradivarius. This one looks like a cello. This one looks like it looks fucking dumb.
They all look
That's
They all look fucking shit.
They just look super niche and like super dad rock and like if you were doing there
was a lot of
Beatles cover band
indie when Strokes were popping off. I noticed a lot of bands were playing those because they were like, oh, you know what? We're doing like the pop rock kind of thing. We want to kind of do something weird, like not the Fender style basses. Like you wouldn't do Music Man because that's too bitchin'.
I see it.
So like we're gonna do something cool, like kind of like
I could do anything bitchin'.
Like we're gonna do something that looks like a bunch of jerk offs, and we're gonna do like a violin. And I'm like, oh shit! And of course they had their own style. I honestly don't have a problem with them.
Okay, so. I remember seeing a band recently.
Okay.
Violin bass, some like hipster doofus band. Dude was wearing like a floppy hat. Like he was trying to be like the bassist was trying to be like Jimi Hendrix. Okay. It's like, dude, you're like mashing it all together. You're mashing it.
Yeah.
Okay. You're really mashing it.
Like you just like I don't know what that means. What does mashing it mean?
It's an It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia reference.
Oh, okay. I don't watch enough of that, I guess.
Yeah.
Bringing it back. So the dude's mashing it, okay?
Yeah.
Like potatoes style, right?
Yeah. It just doesn't. It looked bad. The guy was just chugging along.
But it was like, it just did not fit the band.
No.
Like the only band it really fits in is like if you're doing a Beatles like tribute.
Yeah. Dude's wearing like a huge baggy jacket.
Oh,
like
God.
Long hair. Didn't have a beard though. That probably would have made him look sick.
He would have looked cooler with a beard, bro.
Dude, you need to put on like 200 pounds.
Get some glasses.
Get a beard. Get some glasses. Trucker hat with no like label on it at all. Just a black trucker hat. And then you'd be sick, dude. You'd be living large.
And you need to like get it like a beer in your hand.
Yeah.
And then replace that fucking Hofner bass with like a American Standard P bass.
Yeah.
And then you'd be cool.
I get it. I'm one-sided on a lot of things, but like someone's got my back on that.
These are the Kyle files here. So yeah, let's move on past that because there was nothing to.
Yeah, that we dragged.
Basically,
that
like they just suck
too much. Yeah,
unless you're Paul McCartney, and then you still kind of
look stupid, but like that's your style, dude.
That's your last one here.
Yeah, this is when like a guitar builder puts wood on everything in every spot. So this is like a wood pick guard. This is like wood pickup covers. This is just like too much wood. Okay? To my eye at least, it's not pleasing. It's like everything, it's like camouflage. It's like everything's just the same thing.
Looks like
and it's not like it's the same grain. It's like
woodshop class.
Yeah. Like, oh, that's nice. Let's put that on the fridge.
Like, Mom, I made you a heart out of
twigs
out of twigs. Like a bird kind of piecing it together.
Yeah, like woven together like a nest.
Yeah. That's what it I made you a guitar out of scraps. Please buy this for $4,000.
That's what it looks like. Man, pickup covers. I saw that recently on Instagram. I'm like, what? I just had to screenshot it and send it to Brian. I'm like, that. I've seen stuff like this before, but that looks so stupid.
Yeah.
So bad. It's like, well, we cut this guitar and we didn't want to waste any of the wood, so we hollowed out the cavity and spent another 20 hours and fitted them right over those P90s.
We're zero waste here at this one room at this business park. So
we're
But sometimes we forget and leave the fridge kind of cracked open, and we leave the lights on, and we crack the AC because I like to come into a cold room.
We leave the lights on for you, or for me.
For me, but we're zero waste here.
Yeah, it looks so dumb.
It's like
that's. I guess that's it for. Yeah, but pick guard too. It's like, why would you have like a piece of wood pick guard?
All right, I think that was It's good to head off those Kyle files.
I just gotta get them out.
Get them off your chest.
Yeah, I feel good.
You feel,
I pick them up during the week and I let them out here.
Yeah, like
this is therapy.
I just
here.
dump them to all the listeners. I'm like, don't you fucking hate that shit? Oh, you don't? Yeah, me neither. So I got a kind of a quick topic. Maybe one of the last ones we do here. So it's not like breaking news or anything. It's like now coming in over the wire. The tone jerks are coming in 9 months too late
with some hot information from
some lukewarm, some cold and stale information from 2018. Damn, we were there, and I don't think we ever actually. I think we went to Fender and we kind of looked around and like, this is kind of like boring.
There were so many people in that room. It was like, oh, these are really cool guitars. I'm getting like shoved to the side. Okay,
fuck it. Let's get some beer.
Yeah, where's my beer at?
Where's my beers? So like cool guitars, bro. Catch you on the flip side.
We caught a couple of these
finger guns.
Yeah.
So, the Fender released these parallel universe Fenders.
Yeah.
It's basically they are taking two guitars and shoving them together, basically.
Yeah.
So
I think that's a cool concept.
It's actually there are some bangers in there for sure. So like they've been coming out slowly throughout the year. I think they're doing like every month or every other month, like another one, whatever. Some worth noting are like Jazzmaster Telly. It's pretty sweet.
That's pretty cool.
I think I like that one. The Jaguar Strat. That was one you.
That's one I didn't like.
Yeah, because you were saying like
the pick guard looks really strange on that.
It's like they kind of just
like they didn't shape any. It's like they didn't even try. They're like, oh well, we can't have the pick
follow
guard.
The curve of that.
Yeah,
so.
the pick guard like would hang over the edge, so we'll just cut that. But the rest of it looks fucking weird. But oh well, send it down the line.
Keep on moving.
Yeah, come on, boys.
NAMM's on fucking Thursday. Let's just do it.
We're making.
Yeah, we got to get the intern to drive this over to fucking Anaheim. Get out of here.
Drive from like Corona to Anaheim.
Yeah,
takes like an hour maybe.
Yeah, you could do it. Just give him a give him a burger and a rock star. Some kid would probably be stoked.
Hang out the window so it dries.
I'm an industry professional. I'm driving this here. Out of the way. Out of the way. He's like not actually driving. He's just Ubering it there. Anyways, the Telly Strat.
That actually, like, hearing it, you're like, that probably doesn't look cool, but it does. Actually.
Yeah, that one actually kind of worked. It was like a 52 style or whatever.
Yeah.
That one's all right. This one just came out this month. I think it was like, I saw it like for like a hot minute. It was like blowing up all over like Facebook. And I was like, can you get the fuck off my feed? The Gretsch Telly.
I actually like it. I like the pick guard's a little weird to get used to because it's like free flowing. It looks like
like kind of like foily, like crushed in foil.
Yeah, well, it's like
dumb shit.
It's a perloid, but it
it's
looks
like silver,
but it looks kind of strange.
But I mean, pick guards are pick guards. You can always take them off and change them. But the rest of it, it's kind of cool. It's like looks like
it's orange, right?
Brian Setzer kind of deal.
Yeah, but a smaller. Yeah,
way
smaller.
Yeah. Brian Setzer, a hollow body ish kind of deal.
Yeah, it's got the
but in a Telly shape. Yeah. And then there is the one that is the Strat Telly. So like Stratocaster 3 coil with the bar and all that type of shit and the normal burst that you would do.
Yeah.
But in Telly shape.
Yeah, but I think we've seen those before. I've seen that a lot actually. Like people just do it.
Yeah, people do it.
Nothing
it's like the
new.
Nashville Telly is kind of like that because it has the 3 deals. And I'm like, it's cool. Whatever. I mean, it's a cool idea. But one of the ones that was like pretty... like a big, it's the Les Paul, it's the Troublemaker or whatever they call it, Telly. It's the one that has it's like a Les Paul. It looks like has either the Sunburst or the Burst Les Paul, the Pelham Blue one or whatever Fender's calling it. And it has a double humbucker, has the Gibson style like bridge, has like the 4 and 4. Or sorry, the 2 and 2, the 4 knobs, controls. It has the pickup selector. It looks like just basically like a Les Paul in a Telly shape.
Yeah,
that one's really cool. But I'm actually you can always just get a Telly Deluxe, like a 72.
That's what it looked like. Or like was it not Carbonita or
Carbonita, like kind of like RJ's.
Yeah, where it has that like the pick guard is only on the lower side or the right side.
I honestly think 72 Deluxes look cooler.
Yeah.
Like 72 Deluxe, like Mexican Telly, would be a bitchin' fucking guitar. If I had no other guitars of my arsenal and like I had to start all over again, I'm like, that'd be perfect. I would just get one of those and start from scratch from there. Because I'm like, I've always wanted one.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, oh, they're like meat potatoes, kind of like, people, quote, it's like maybe a bad thing to say, but it's like, oh, it's like poor man's Les Paul.
Yeah.
That was like,
this is what you get, but
like, it's like
all the benefits of having a Fender.
Yeah, it's like, it'll like the 6-in-line, so it'll be a little bit better tuning stability. And it's like, oh, you have the double humbuckers, they have the 3-position switch. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I'd
Bolt
rather
on neck if you just want to change it.
Yeah, it'll probably be better than,
Instead of get like a
snap it
soldering
off or
iron
whatever,
and like a heat gun.
Yeah. Anyway, so we kind of went over some of those, and their whole idea behind it, whether they say it or not, is like basically just take 2 guitars and shove them together.
Yeah,
and
so that's Fender's kind of thing.
With this year, that's what the Parallel Universe series is.
Yeah,
and it's like, oh, let's take 2 guitars and put them together. And I'm like, that's cool. It's a cool idea. I'm like, just fucking do it. You guys are like kind of rocking shit anyways. Let's just fucking make it go. You guys got like limited runs. It's not like like a full production line. They're doing like 1,000 or.
Dang.
Probably doing even more.
It's probably expensive then, right?
They're like, I think not cheap. I think they're at least 200 or 200, $2,000.
Okay.
$1,500 at least per each one.
Dang.
Made in US, like whatever, small runs. We don't have full specs on these. We basically just told you all that shit and gave you our quick hot take to say, now this topic here. If you could take 2 big, well-known guitars that are not the ones mentioned that Fender did and shove them together, what would you do? What's your kind of deal? You can even do 3 if you wanted to. So, what combination of like popular mainstream guitars would you shove together to make something good?
I was thinking a Les Paul Jr.
Okay.
Double cutaway.
Oh, double cutaway.
And then putting the 70s Fender headstock. So it's like the
bigger headstock.
Yeah. I think that would look pretty cool actually.
So you kind of you wouldn't change anything about it except for basically the neck and headstock?
No, I'd just go simple on the wire, on the circuit. Maybe I don't know,
keep it the
either a P90 or maybe humbucker.
And just change the headstock. You kind of just fix a problem right there.
That'd be really cool actually.
Because of like the tuning issues with Gibsons.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we do the Fender 6-in-line.
Yeah, and do the vintage nitro look on there.
Yeah, and that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Would it be a Fender made product or a Gibson made product?
Well, it'd have to be a Fender because of the headstock.
You want the Fender headstock.
Yeah. Or it'd be a McIntyre made product.
Yeah. Got that shit, bitch.
What do you got?
I was thinking a like Les Paul and like a Starcaster.
Okay.
So like the 70s, like the ones that they did, like I think the hollow body offset kind of deals.
Yeah.
But like with a Gibson like headstock and 6 and a 3 and 3 kind of deal. Because I'm like, as much as like a harp on about it, those are tight. Gibson headstocks are dope. They look good. They're cool. And it's like if a Gibson made that, it'd be like kind of be like an offset. Almost, I guess it would be basically like maybe an offset hollow body 335.
Yeah.
So maybe I guess maybe it would be like more of like Jazz Master mixed with 335. I guess that's a better description of what I want. I want a Gibson made. I think that'd be really cool. Like I'd want it like I could even do like really extreme, like maybe even like the Jag Sting style. I'm like I want it to be like look like it was just like fucking stretched in fucking like Photoshop.
Dang.
I love that offset look. That'd be really cool. But it's hollow body, so it's like good size thing. And maybe even throw in the size of like a Gretsch. Because I want it big.
Dang.
I want the thing big.
Jesus.
That'd be tight.
I just had another one pop into my head.
What?
The Pawn Shop series.
Mm-hmm.
Fender. That's in the 51, they call them? I'm wrong. I think it's 71.
Which one's that?
Damn it. It's like the semi-hollow body.
Okay, yeah.
And it put a Gibson headstock on that.
Okay,
Gibson neck. That would probably look really cool.
They came out in like pink
black and pink.
Yeah.
And then like I think they did like a tan. I could be wrong. And then because I'm wrong about a lot of things. And then was it seafoam too? It was like some like really
it was like
some
some
like
weird,
ice cream colors.
We got weird colors. Yeah, Neapolitan colors.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be really cool. So those are our ideas. If you guys have any other ideas of like your mainstay, basic
something you've been thinking about for years, maybe
classic guitars, shoving them like 2 or 3 of them together, what would you guys do?
Yeah. Join the Facebook group.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's on Facebook. Find us, answer some questions. We'll let you in. Maybe we always let everyone in.
Yeah. All right. So I think we're gonna reel it in. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's just say a quick thank you to everybody for tuning in. And before we go, we just want to let you guys know that we have a Facebook group that you guys can like join in on some of the fun, and say what's up. And sometimes we will pull topics from that group. And, whatever. And we're on Instagram, too. We're posting a lot of cool shit every goddamn day.
If I do say so myself.
And if you guys really like what you hear, you guys can help support the show on Patreon. You guys can become a patron on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. And if you guys double down, you guys can, get an extra episode every week. We're talking the nitty-gritty, behind-the-scenes type of shit. The good stuff. The, it's like... the After Dark, the Baywatch nights, the Tone Jerks nights type shit. And, and we just want to give a little shout out to some of our Patreon patrons. So we have Co and Paul from the Flippin' Flippers podcast. They're, releasing episodes every Tuesday.
Tone Bros.
We have Johnny Ray, Johnny Two Guns. We have... Michael Newman. We have Abe Newman. No relation. We have Doug Gann. We still don't know if that's his name. Doug Gone.
That you better just change your name now.
Yeah, I mean Doug Gann.
I've said it more than 3 times.
Yeah, it's like Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
We have Jamie Davis. We have Jason Fuzzmonger.
Yeah.
We have RJ from Telly Talks. The YouTube channel. He's doing some Instagram shit too. We have Like My Pedals. We have Bruce Banana, and then we have the Jimmy B.
Jimmy B.
Jimmy B.
Hey, where's Jimmy B?
I'm just gonna leave it at that. We have Will Lehio.
Correct.
And then we have Doug Christ. That's the correct way to say it.
That is, yeah. I learned the hard way.
Yeah. It's like, don't fucking say my name wrong. And then we have Fat Foot Effects. Don't forget, we are doing that pedal giveaway. It's going to be coming up real soon. All the specific details and the start and end date of the little contest is going to be hitting our Instagram and Facebook group. So stay tuned for that. And then last but not least, we have Pelican Noiseworks.
Yeah, Pelican.
Leon.
Is that his real? Is that his first name? It's really Pelican.
Yeah, Pelican is his name. Yeah.
Noisy Works, or is it French or something?
Sick joke, dude. I think we're gonna end it on that. Thank you guys so much. We love you for tuning in.
All right.
We will see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.